Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Carol. I'm an author, a healer, a fairy whisperer, and a gatekeeper to everything magical. And there go the magical crows. Nature is alive all around me right now. Today I've been asked to come on and speak to you about what happens when all your dreams come true. And this is a message from the Fairy Godmothers. So just take a moment to drink that in. The Fairy Godmothers are coming through, and this message is coming through, especially right now at this time where there is so much to be aware of on the earth plane right now that is taking us from a place of joy, of our I am presence, where we are co-creators as we are one with the divine. And there are many who can, of course, move beyond that, navigate through that. There are also many right now who get caught up in it. And this is what we want to work with and talk with about today. You notice I'm switching to we, and it feels like they are going to take over and speak. And they're saying yes. So when I've gone to we, you understand that is what is happening. On behalf of the fairy godmothers of the fairy realm, the fairy patrons, which is another name, we are wanting you to know that right now, in this place, this moment, on this earth plane, so many of you are poised to achieve your heart's desire, the goals that you have been working toward your entire lifetime, and indeed many lifetimes leading up to this one. What we as the fairy patrons, fairy godmothers, want you to know is that right now you need to be in a place of receiving is the best way to put it. So many people say, yes, I've done the work, I want to achieve these goals, but are you truly ready to receive? Now you may be asking, how do I become ready to receive? What is the magic of that? It is basically going within and doing all that beautiful heart-centered work, loving oneself implicitly in every aspect, so that when images come up, they are calling me to show you the fae that are coming in right now through the sunbeams and light beams down this way. Okay. It's Carol back again, and I'll go back to the fairy godmothers in a moment. But they want you to know how real they are. And so the fire fae are coming through right now through the sunbeam. And the fairy goddesses, the fairy godmothers, are coming through on a purple blue beam that went right through here. Okay. Since I'm back, I will offer up this information before they come back in. Fairy godmothers or fairy patrons are a certain order of fairy. We have here on earth the guardian fairies, who are guardians to animals, plants, flowers, rocks, trees, minerals, dirt, any aspect of nature. The birds are saying us too, the fish, any aspect of nature, just like we have a guardian angel. And yes, fairies are angels of the earth. Here come the fire fae back in again. There are also orders of fairies that are teachers, which are the teachers of Avalon that we traditionally work with, the sisterhood. There are as well the fairy patrons and fairy godmothers, who generally belong to either the fire elemental, which you're seeing come through here, or the air elemental, which is stirring up around me right now, affirming. They are here to help a person achieve a goal that they have been working toward. Quite often they patron artists of all modalities, and anything that you are being creative or a co-creator with the divine. Now the fairy godmothers are coming back in. As we mentioned, there is a great need right now for you to be ready to receive. And you must really feel yourself worthy to do this. So how do we become worthy, you are asking? It truly is through self-love and looking at every aspect of self to affirm that you love yourself implicitly. So many animal helpers are coming through. We just had the little squirrel, and as well the crow raven keeps flying back and forth. So the suggestion that is being made is that if you are in nature, simply go to a stream. I am facing a stream right now. Look into your reflection in the water surface and love yourself, every aspect of yourself that you see, each piece of yourself. If you are getting older like me and you have these wonderful little lines around your eyes, love those. Love every aspect. Those aspects that you have thrown into the closet that you've been afraid to look at, they need to be pulled out and loved. Gaze into that reflection in the water. If you can look into natural water like I mentioned, that is the best because you have the water fae coming through with you. And truly tell your reflection, all aspects of yourself, how much you love you. All right. I'm going to pause a moment. They want me to pick up my Dalmatian stone, so I will be right back while you're taking that in. All right. So you are ready to receive. You have loved yourself. Now they want you to look at what it is you are wanting to bring forth. What is the miracle, the magic, the goal that you wish to bring forth? It is very critical to know that this is an aspect of the divine. Okay, so look at it and truly affirm that it is a divine goal. Now I can hear some of the artists in this group, because for so long we have been programmed to say anything artistic is not important. It is merely an aspect of what we love to do, of joy. It is definitely important. It is your God-given gift. So you need to look at that, reprogram it, alchemize it, and literally let that go. So once again, what is that joyous, creative burst that you want to bring forth? Now the fairy patrons, fairy godmothers, and you notice I am wearing their color. That's the very pale blue of the fairy godmother. Want you to really be clear on what it is you wish for. The squirrel that was just chirping in the background is saying be clear on balance as well. Now what we will do together is call out, here's the squirrel back, to fairy godmothers and fairy patrons for each person that is tuning into this particular video. I mean, I can make this a blanket for the world, but it's good right now to focus on those who will tune into this video. Now, I am calling out to my fairy godmother. I am calling out to my own personal being as gatekeeper to everything magical. And to all fairy godmothers, fairy patrons who wish to work with the beings on this channel, who watch it, who share it, who happen upon it. They want you to become very comfortable. If you can be out in nature, that is marvelous. If not, you can visualize it all around you. They want you now to grow silver roots from the base of your feet, about a foot into beloved Gaia. And now, feel the bliss, the joy of the air elementals swirling around you. Take your breath and breathe in time with them. Calling out to the air fairy godmothers, the air patrons, asking them to come forward And now calling on the fire patrons as well. They want you to continue to take deep breaths right now, so I will help you with that. Bringing the air up through the left side of your left foot, all the way to the crown of your head, and then exhaling it down the right. Inhale up the left. Exhale down the right. Inhale up the left. Exhale down the right. Feel right now the beauty, the bliss, the joy of the fairy godmothers, the fairy patrons. Like all fairies, they will right now analyze each being to see who is a good match. Energetically, as well as what you want to achieve. Is that something that they are aligned to? For example, the fire phase are known for eliciting passion within composers such as Beethoven and Mozart. They would be very in line to someone of that type of work, bringing forth that kind of passionate display of music composition. This is not to say they will not be attracted to other projects, goals as well. Now, what they are saying is, this particular exercise, they are going to be bringing up images for you to focus on and release so that they can come in. They also want me to remind you that there traditionally is a testing with a fairy patron and a fairy godmother before they begin to work with you. This can be something akin to you walking out in nature and coming across someone that needs help, assisting them. Could be something as simple as a homeless person reaching out for money and you gifting $1. And then a little ways into your walk, you come across a piece of trash, you pick it up, and there's $1 in it. That is the traditional testing of a fairy godmother, fairy patron. Be aware that that can be happening in the next few days for you. Also, certain objects may disappear and come back very magically. This has certainly disappeared from my bedside and came back in a pillowcase that belonged to a dear friend of mine. All right. Now we have the fairy godmothers, the fairy patrons, literally looking at you, analyzing you, and determining what it is they can do to assist you with, if you can be assisted with their particular gifts. They are casting the blue light of the Fairy Godmother down upon you. How does that feel for you? Is it like a beautiful blanket that you can wrap yourself in? The blue light is settling upon aspects of yourself that need to be loved. This is the whole theme of their "Are you ready to receive?" message. What is it that needs to be loved in you? It may be an image that bubbles up. It may be suddenly you focusing on an aspect of your body that you've not been happy with. Or it could be something that in the past happened to you that hangs on you, even though you feel as if you've put that away. What is it? The blue light is going to whatever this illuminated object, thing, or part of you is, and cradling it in a fairy godmother's embrace. Watch as they take it and transmute it into the most beautiful crystalline light. And this can happen over and over again. You can pause this video while aspects of you are brought up for them to bless their beautiful blue light. They're having me show the blue calcite because it is akin to their color. And now as all these different aspects are being released and let go, of course with your agreement and basically release of them, the fairy patrons are choosing one amongst all of us to whisper in their ear. So one fairy patron to each person, a message for you today. Listen and receive. And now the fairy patrons, fairy godmothers, are circling back up into their element, and they will be approaching you in the days, weeks to come. Will you be aware of it, is the question. Keep your eyes open at all times because the testing is so subtle That's my advice to you. Well, I'm going to say thank you to the fairy patrons of fire, the fairy godmothers and patrons of air who came through so beautifully, visually through the light. Here we go again. That's magical. And the crows calling as well. And thank you for tuning in. My name is Carol again, if you're brand new. And please, if you get a chance, check out my website, carolweekland.com. A magical place with magical offerings. Thank you one and all for tuning in. Please know that you are ready, primed to receive your greatest wish. You are an aspect of the divine, and you can co-create with the divine anything as long as it is in the divine plan. Have a magical day. Fairy blessings, one and all.